All right, we're live, Rebel Republic.
Hello and welcome to 97.9 Unity Radio, the best political talk show in all of central Massachusetts, not just the 508, all of central Massachusetts.
Maybe the only political talk show in all of central Massachusetts.
Well, there's
we're worldwide now, baby, on YouTube too. So
we have numbers out the yin yang.
Big time.
Yes, we are the Rebel Republic. We have with us the co-host. He is the self-proclaimed voice of reason, and he can't pay his bills in joy. Frank Cristiano.
Yes, thank you.
And he won't open a doggy daycare.
Absolutely not.
And the I guess 20.
There are no dogs left to be in this daycare. They're eating them all in Springfield, Ohio. I heard they're eating the dogs. That is the greatest line ever. I think ever put out.
All time.
Yep.
The 2024, he's up for Coach of the Year candidate for the 9-year-old Pop Warner division in New Jersey. The coach himself, David Schuman, leading the charge.
So, are you a conservative play caller or are you a liberal play caller?
I am not conservative, actually.
That's the only bones in your body that aren't conservative, huh?
No, I go for it, baby. I go for it.
So I have a question right off the bat. Why is Kamala against Christianity?
So there was a rally that she was hosting, and someone yelled out, "Jesus is Lord." And
he is, isn't he?
Yes.
He's the Savior and Lord.
She yelled out,
"You must be at the wrong rally."
Must be at the wrong rally, the smaller one down the block or something along those lines, basically mocking
Christ. She mocked Christ.
She mocked Christ. Now, in fairness, I bet she really had no idea what she probably heard. I think she probably just heard someone yelling and think it was a heckler, but it makes for great.
Yeah, but she had to have heard it. The response.
She heard it. I wonder if she heard exactly what they said or not. But that's what they said. They said Jesus is Lord, and she mocked them.
She's got to say that. Think about it right off the bat. Well, the abortion issue is the entire center around the Jesus is Lord statement. So right. Bottom line, if she doesn't co-sign on that one and defend the abortion, supporters, she could lose 65 to 70% of the female vote.
That's true.
And there's no way that she can count on that. So she's got, and when she was saying the smaller rally down the road a little bit, that was the Trump rally going on at the same time. I think that's what she was mentioning. So
I think it was the day before, maybe. But
that's crazy that she would be so reckless.
Like 4 times bigger or 5 times bigger arena.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was her, and then ha ha ha, like her little cackle. I can't even do it. It's so terrible.
Right.
I wanted to ask you because on the ride up here, they were talking about some of the early voting ballots, and they said that in Florida, 100,000 ballots have already come in. Okay. And this was by Frank's friend, Jimmy Falla, who had said 100,000 ballots have already come in for Trump. Frank, do you think that gives him an excellent chance at winning the state? I think it makes that much of a difference.
I don't know. You don't know. You got it.
You don't know, really?
You don't know on this. There's no way. There's
100,000.
100,000 is nothing. There's 3 or 4. You need 3 or 4 million to win the state.
I know.
I mean, but is it encouraging? Sure. Sure it is. Listen, people don't understand. There are tons of different surveys and ballots out there, and polls out there to find out like where the percentages are right now. Where does Kamala stand? Where does Trump stand? All that. But here's the one that interests me, and it's out of Pennsylvania. There's literally a 33 to 34% African American Trump supporting vote right now in the polls in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. There is also, this is the one that's more interesting to me. New registered voters just turned 18. New registered voters in the state of Pennsylvania right to this point. 30,000 have registered as Democrats. 45,000 have registered as Republicans.
Well, that's good then.
Right. So what that tells you right now, it's even the sentiment among the youth is turning. If you are looking to, I'm not talking college campuses. If you are surveying everyday life youth in this country, most of them, if not almost all of them, are supporting Donald Trump. Now, I had an interesting thing. I had a discussion with a couple of women, both Republican, but both despise Donald Trump for obviously his mannerisms, okay, and for the abortion issue, right? The manners, right? The personal issue.
They blame him for the abortion thing.
Well, they don't blame him, but obviously he is the leader, and he takes the Christian support, right? And as far as votes, and to have the Christian support, you have to be anti-abortion. And so, so they really hammered home their dislike of him and his policies, and wars will start, and Russia this and Israel and there. Yeah. So they're hammering all the issues, but bottom line, I told them, I go, listen, I'm not voting for the man per se.
No,
I'm entertained by the man. But I'm voting. Yeah, I'm voting for policies that I believe in, policies that I've seen take effect. Right, policies that I see as a person, as a citizen, that need to be enforced, and that are not coming to fruition right now. That's what I'm voting for. Right, and I still I wish someone would help me out. They say Donald Trump is racist.
Right.
Please, Charlottesville, please give me an issue where he has said totally direct racist comments.
I don't think he has.
Well, I need it. Why? Because the virus came from China.
We call the China virus.
Right. It came from China.
Yeah,
it came from China.
China. Right. It came from China. So from vagina. So, but bottom line is, okay, so that's one. So where does he come out and he's insulted African Americans?
I don't think he has.
He's insulted Mexicans because many of them coming over the border are criminals, they're killers, they're rapists. Well, we've seen over the last 3.5 years, many of them coming over the border are killers, murderers, and rapists.
Statistically, that is true.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So again, where are we?
Fact checking.
Who are we insulting? Who are we insulting here? Why are we so sensitive as far as somebody saying something?
Americans now, that's what we are. We are sensitive.
Yeah, but
we're overly sensitive.
But we're losing what actually made us great. What made us great is we never backed down from a challenge. We never backed down. We had intestinal fortitude.
Yeah, we don't.
Right now, we're losing that left and right, and I think that's what has to come back in this election. So hopefully, these numbers in Florida are decent. Hopefully, the numbers in Pennsylvania are correct. I think. I mean, I'm honestly, and I know the DNC side is shitting their pants, but bottom line, I really think that the numbers are skewed, and the margin of victory for the Republican Party in this election will be even greater than what the media is telling you right now.
Go ahead, Dave. I wanted to get your thoughts.
I agree. I think that, first of all, I think that early voting on the Republican side, the fact that there's been early voting is positive. That's where the Democrats overwhelmingly succeeded in the last election.
2020, yep.
So if there's a movement there that's being successful, I think that's really good. I think also Trump is doing a lot better job, especially in recent weeks, of getting out into the public. I think the going to McDonald's and doing what Kamala make believe she did and never did, and mocking that, I thought was great. First of all, to me, like, and all these people that have zero sense of humor, like,
correct.
To me, he's a man of the people. He's willing to go there. We know obviously part of it's a photo op and all that kind of stuff, but the fact that he's willing to do it is phenomenal, right? The fact that he is able to joke on the nonsense with Kamala is even better. And he went to the big dinner. It was Al, I can't think of his last name, Brown, was it? The big dinner that they have, it's like a Democrat thing. He went there, spoke, and he made a great joke on Chuck Schumer.
Oh yeah, that's a Catholic fundraiser. It's a Catholic fundraiser. Yep.
And the Democrats and Republicans are there, right? And he made a great joke on Chuck Schumer about, if Kamala doesn't win, he could still be the first female president of the United States.
Right, right.
And Chuck laughed, by the way.
He did.
Obviously, they're bitter rivals, so Kamala doesn't even show up at those things. She doesn't show up. She cannot speak in public. She can't make jokes like that and get people to laugh and to realize
she can't think on her feet.
I mean, listen, Chuck Schumer knows he's playing around. See, that's the thing. That's the whole thing. That's the difference between Trump and Kamala. Kamala takes her nonsense seriously, okay? The BS she spews is all part of a plan. It's all word salad nonsense. BS.
Well, I don't think she's BSing. She just changed, some of her opinions. Her values are still the same.
Right. BS.
She just changed her policies. That's all.
Right. Trump.
Shut up.
Yeah, right.
She did. She just changed her policy.
Shut up. Stop.
I'm just being the voice of reason.
Stop.
Frank, thank goodness I took NyQuil because I have a cough and a little bit of sickness. So I took NyQuil. So that allows me to be a little.
Yeah. So Steve's commentary will put you to sleep right away. So be careful. Combine NyQuil and Steve's commentary. You're going to doze off to La La Land now, please.
Dave, I did want to ask. I was on the car ride up as well, and I heard from Jimmy Fallon, and he mentioned that Barack Obama, Joe Biden is regretted dropping out of this race, allegedly. He has said to pundits that he has wished that he had stayed in it. He thinks he would have won it. He thinks he would have had a better chance than Kamala to win it. And, he was forced out and talked out of, and ended up dropping out. Do you believe that?
That he was forced out?
That he made a mistake by dropping out, that he would have polled better than Kamala, and that he, should have stayed in the race.
Well, okay. So he should have stayed in the race because he was the nominated person by the party for that. Okay. No. Now, if there had been a medical diagnosis that he was no longer fit to be in office, I would like to know that, because that means that Kamala is running the United States.
Correct.
So that is why he should have stayed in the race. Okay. They pulled him out of the race because he was going to lose. And he was not going to be able to handle himself in the same situation. Having said that, him as a statue is better than Kamala talking. So it's as bad as Biden and it's bad. Okay. Kamala and her beliefs are so radical, and what she actually really believes in is so far to the left.
Communist.
She makes Biden look conservative. So she buys into every bit of the woke nonsense, every bit of all these things. She was the hardest on crime when she was in California and became the softest on the border in the history. She's full of it.
Doo-doo. Yeah, I know.
You know what it's like? What happened? It was like, let's say you're doing a celebrity Chippendale night, right? And Tom Cruise is the poster boy for your celebrity Chippendales night.
I mean, the MC.
No. He's the guy. He's going to be the head Chippendale, right? The females are going to go crazy, right? They're going to line up outside the door. They're going to have baskets and roses for him and all that. And you get inside, and the lead guy is like Kevin James. You know what I mean? It just kills everything. That's what they did.
Yeah, it kills all
they basically took Joe Biden out, forcibly took him out without a doubt, and they replaced him with Kevin James, with basically someone who's totally inept to be able to take over this spot. Besides, the only qualifying factor is she's female and she's African American.
Yeah, but I don't think he was forced out. I think he could have 100%.
He was
said, I am staying.
He was for he wouldn't have, because then they would have attacked him. Then you would have had a concentrated coordinated DNC attack on their own
I would
president.
have gone through it. I would let him go through it.
No. You can't do that because it opens up family secrets. It opens up family discrepancies. Now you're bringing his son into the picture. Okay, there's a lot of dirt that can be dug up, and I'm sure the DNC has a file of their own dirt
on Hunter,
on Joe Biden, and absolutely.
Oh,
okay. So not just that. Think of the money he would lose down the road. Think of the money, the funding, and the money that they would pull from him immediately, right? If all of a sudden he says, "I'm staying there till the end."
Oh, they're in charge.
Right. Or
funding?
Or they listen. They control everything.
Okay,
they control everything.
I thought he controlled it.
He doesn't. No, he can't get up in the morning. He can't eat oatmeal.
No, but I thought he controls how much he spends on advertising.
No, it's not. It's not on advertising. It's how big your war chest is, and where your war chest goes, and who controls your war chest. Okay, so those are the things. So when you want to increase your war chest, and they cut off all the funding, you don't increase your war chest. You understand?
Well, what's the war chest technically for?
Technically, it's for spending on your campaign.
Yes, that's what I mean.
But at the end of the campaign, okay, there's always funds that somehow they say everything's reported to the T, but that's one place where they're full of shit. There's a lot of money that slides into different categories as how it was donated, how it was given, and how it's going to fall into different hands. And that's what happens. That's why listen. All these guys go into politics as paupers, and they come out multimillionaires. How is that possible?
Because they raise
on a House salary of $140,000 and a Senate salary of like $200,000, whatever the hell they're making.
They raise a lot of money.
They don't raise a lot of money. They're given a lot of money.
Oh, they're given
a lot of money for favors. That's basically how it runs.
Is that what the lobbyists do?
Lobbyists are there to grease palms and get votes. That's basically what they do. So my thing is, even just recently at Ethel Kennedy's funeral, there was a viral moment. That video took place of President Obama.
Who's Ethel?
The Kennedy matriarch. JFK, RFK.
Oh,
the Kennedy,
the mom?
Yes.
She was still alive?
She's still alive. So she passed away.
Oh, okay.
They were at the funeral. So now they still have, they were videotaping Obama and Joe Biden, who were next to each other in one of the pulpits, not pulpit, whatever you call it there. In the pew, excuse me, in the church. Thank you. So you can see, and they got lip readers all over this. And bottom line, Obama's like, no, I know, I understand all that. And Joe Biden says, I'm a much better candidate than she is. And Obama says, no, I understand. You are. Yes, you are. So you got to understand where he has to appease Biden, because Biden just woke up. Well, he was president. He was president. Okay. He fell asleep in a bathtub full of warm water. Okay. He woke up and he wasn't president anymore, basically, right? That's what happened. Voila.
He just missed the debate in the last 3 months.
He did.
What happened was
hibernated.
When they cloned him for the third time, the third clone had a better recognition of what happened.
Total recall.
The third clone is total recall. So he had the total recall, and he's like, wait a minute.
I'm not president.
I know exactly what's going down here. And he knew it. And he's like, what? He's like, they somehow pulled the wool over me, clone number 2 or 1 or whatever. Now clone 3's here. I want back in. He was
pulling a Denzel Washington. All right. I see it. I got it. I see it. I'm taking all you motherfuckers telling me. That's right. That's awesome.
I had no idea.
It's you know what it is. It's becoming a fun.
I run this neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right. I just can't wait till this election is over.
You want it to be over.
I need this thing to be over.
But it's fun talking about it.
It's fun talking about it. It'll be fun talking about it afterwards too, because no one's going to let it go. The country is beyond repair. I'm sorry right now. The country is beyond repair, because if Harris wins, it will be a mess. And I'm sorry to those that don't think that way, but I apologize. Your country will be worse off with the Harris administration. If Trump wins, I think the situation of the country, the nationalistic situation of the country, will be better. But I think we'll be worse off as citizens in this country, because we will be at each other's throats.
Well, yeah, it's going to cause.
Because here's the difference.
I don't think so. I don't think so this time.
You don't think so, huh?
You think he'll unite?
I don't know.
No, I don't think he's going to unite anybody. I think that the wokesters are weak, and when Trump wins, they will
Well, they've been
cry
backpedaling,
and they'll be mad at you, and then they'll just go back in their hole and try to figure out how they can get Trump out or impeach him or get him arrested.
Again?
For putting pepper on the fries instead of salt or something, and that's what they'll try to do. And and then 4 years they'll spend all their time doing that. But the difference this time will be Trump can't get elected again. So Trump will not even remotely try to do anything that they want or try to appease them. He will push through his agenda as best he can. Doesn't mean everything's going to go through. A lot of it probably won't, but he will push through the things that he thinks is most important. He will go after the border. He will get as many of these dangerous illegals out. You're not going to get all the people that have come over, all of them out, but he's going to go after the dangerous illegals. I don't know if he's going to build a wall, but he's going to stop immigration the way that it is, and he's going to allow the border agents to do their job. He's going to do a lot of those things. He's going to do his best to try and figure out all the different international situations and get to some level of resolution as best as possible. Because what you have now with, Biden and Kamala are still in power, and it's chaos. It's absolutely chaos.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, chaos. The Iranians don't listen to America. Israelis have said the Americans aren't helping us. Biden says
Hamas doesn't listen either.
Nobody listens to us. Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the bottom line is,
I wouldn't either.
Well, yeah. So whether you're a terrorist or you're an ally like Israel, or you're Iran, who's an enemy, or you're Ukraine, who's, I don't know, pseudo, I guess, ally, Russia, who knows exactly where they stand. No matter who it is, none of them respect the current administration. And if Kamala gets in, listen, if Margaret Thatcher was going to be the president, I would be really comfortable. Okay. Margaret Thatcher, when she was
prime minister, she was England, prime minister of England.
Yeah, great movie you should watch, by the way, if you ever get a chance on her.
Back in the 80s.
What about that Susan B. Anthony lady? Would she have been a good president?
Susan B. Anthony, wasn't she the one who got you the
She's
vote?
on a coin. She's on a coin. I don't know. That's why I was asking. She's on currency, so she's got to be important.
I need another shot of NyQuil.
I need a bullet to the head right now.
Who was Susan B. Anthony? Wasn't she something?
Susan B. Anthony was more of a social activist.
Okay. Oh, I thought she was in Congress or something. She's on currency, so I figured that. No, okay. All right, well, we'll pass on that one.
So's the what's the Indian woman who was on the gold dollar coin? What was her name?
Take 2 oranges and throw them back at life.
Throw them back at life. Throw them.
All right, well, let me ask this then, Dave. Okay,
let me finish my thought real quick.
Yeah,
so Margaret Thatcher was a great leader. Okay, now there are people that agreed with her and disagreed. She was conservative. And she was there during when Ronald Reagan was president. She was prime minister of England. She had principles. She had ways of leading. She was a woman, and other countries did not mess with her. Okay. If they did, they didn't matter that she was a woman. I feel like Kamala will not be respected like a Margaret Thatcher is. Okay. Because she cackles too much. She doesn't take things seriously. She doesn't speak about anything, and other countries will just take it even more as a green light than they did with Biden. They will take it as more of a green light to do whatever they want, and that's how you get World War III. That's how you get World War III, because if everybody feels like they have no superpowers, there's something to the superpowers. Okay, when the United States is a superpower. When you feel like the United States can take action, even if they don't,
right?
do not cross them because it could be dangerous to your sovereignty as a nation. There is something.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Parky Bucket says hi. Parky Bucket. He wanted me to say hi. Davey Hughes wants me to say hi. Parky Bucket says you're doing a great job, and Easton Brack says he saw your video on Usain Bolt. Did you make a Usain Bolt video?
Probably yes.
Okay, they just said they saw that, so I wanted to let you know.
I think that one went viral.
That was the one you were talking about.
One of them, yeah.
So what?
No, thank you guys.
I wanted to ask you.
Lisa from Columbia told you to go fuck yourself, Dave. I just want to let you know.
No, I gotta edit that and bleep that out. Can you not do that, Dave? So if Trump does win, okay,
by the way, that's what I was waiting for, Frank. I was waiting for him to say that.
Absolutely.
Trump wins. Can he still get things done? Are there any major senatorial or congressional races that will determine the House and Senate and, give Republicans the advantage there so he can pass some stuff through or no?
That to me?
No, I asked Dave first.
Oh, you, Dave?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
As far as all the down ballot races, but that's an obstacle if there is not enough to change that in Republicans' favor. That's potentially an obstacle. He has the Supreme Court.
He does.
He should have the Senate, but that's obviously an obstacle. It's very and that's part of our system that there's no checks and balances. That's the beauty of the system.
Yeah.
If it is all your way, you have to be able to maneuver to get things the way you want it to.
And there's hundreds of millions of dollars right now being poured into the lower level elections right now.
Yep.
So this isn't just this just isn't a presidential race as well. This is a Senate race. This is a House race. I mean, bottom line, there's so much maneuvering going around because think of it right now. If you're the RNC, you want to solidify the hold on the House, and you want to take over the Senate to allow your administration to be able to complete, what it's set out to complete.
Sure.
If you're the Democrats, you obviously want to stop that at all costs. So they need, and I think they're going to have a harder time in the Senate than they will in the House. They would have a chance to flip the House. It seems like a little bit. I don't know if it's a 6 or 7 race change that could swing the House votes, but the Senate looks like they may lose the Senate, and that would hurt them, right? That would hurt them.
Yeah.
But still, the House are the ones that put up the propositions, that put up the proposals. So, that's they need to hold one of those two to be able to stop any kind of run by the Trump administration if he does win to be to implement what he wants to do.
Now, Frank on Fox, it mentions how you had said that the key voting demographics have been shifting to Trump over the last few cycles with the black voters and Hispanic voters.
I want credit for that. I said that 2 months ago. We were talking about this.
But it does say that Kamala has been getting more support from white educated voters.
That is correct.
Why do you believe that to be?
Because you have to realize the higher the education level, the more arrogance you acquire.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's just my feeling, my personal feeling. I'm not saying you don't get smarter along the way. You don't gain knowledge. You do gain knowledge along the way. The problem is you gain knowledge from just one side. You're getting knowledge from the educational side. Because once you live on campus like that, or once you frequent the campus in that kind of capacity, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, some of these people have been there, you sort of acclimate yourself to who's around you and who's around you. There are the handful of conservative professors you could count on your hand at universities. You can.
No, they don't.
They don't because they don't want to hold conservative principles. because it does not allow them to have as much of a broad effect in their teachings.
Sure.
They feel that it would constrict them.
Yes.
So now you're getting all this loose teaching. You're getting all this garbage that's coming in from the outside
and
being brought in. And
gender identity.
Well, all that. But listen, every place is a safe space now. Every place is falling into the DEI.
Safe space.
Safe space. Every place is a safe space. Everywhere you go around here right now, that's the first thing people want to know is a safe space.
Then why do the Venezuelan gangs attack people?
Because they haven't marked the housing complexes as safe spaces yet. Once they mark that, I'm sure those gangs will go away. I mean, they know the rules. They know to follow the rules.
I was just curious.
Yeah, no. So I'm just saying. I mean, listen, I've made my rounds of the colleges right now, just taking my kid to colleges, and I've seen and their open houses and all that. And yes, there are. DEI has made its way into the upper echelon of education in this country.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think that's what it is.
Except in Florida.
Right. I think that's what. So I feel that the reason the average citizens are voting for Trump, and my reason is this: the average citizen, because they feel insulted by the highly educated people, because they're arrogant. They are arrogant to the point of being sickening. I think that's one reason why people say, you know what, I'm gonna vote Trump, because here's why I'm voting Trump. I am entertained as shit. Right. And I want to see these people suffer more, because they're mentally shot as it is right now. They can't fathom that anyone could vote for this candidate, not realizing that it's not one guy we're voting for, right? We're voting for a party. We're voting for an agenda. But they can't realize their minds have been blown. And if he wins, I am waiting to find, remember that lady that was in the streets after Trump won, and she had the beanie cap on and the glasses. She was on her knees crying. No! She was apologizing to everyone. Viral video. Yeah. I know you don't do that. So that's what I want to see again. I want it again. I want minds blown again. I want people to realize after a while, your arrogance is sickening and you need to shut the F up.
Well, actually, Diddy the Goat says to you to shut up and called you a fatty and said you're ugly.
Yeah, no problem, Diddy. Number one, I'm not looking to hang out with you or get with you, Diddy. Okay. Number two, well, if you're Diddy, then you may be related to the baby oil Diddy, and you got your own problems to worry about right now.
Diddy, I just hope you weren't calling me fat and ugly, because that would hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I'm not insulted.
Dave, what are your thoughts on what Frank has said about the shift and Dave and Frank apparently saying that you're arrogant because you're more intelligent than us because you have your MBA and we don't. So
I might BS and it's BS.
He's got a master's.
Fantastic.
He's more intelligent than us.
Great. But I'm not. But I'm not.
Intelligence has something to do with arrogance. It's a mindset that the left has, that they're better than you. They think they're better than you. That's the difference. Just like Diddy the Goat, he thinks he's skinnier, probably weighs 500 pounds himself. So
Diddy the bloat.
Well, he wanted Frank to shut up.
That's okay.
I just wanted to let him know that. But but are you surprised that the voting has shifted to the white college-educated voters going to Kamala's camp?
I'd like to know exactly what that means, but
the numbers have gone up big time for that in that area.
It's been countered probably by the number of African American men who now vote.
It has.
Yes.
Yeah, the numbers have gone up.
So I look at it like this. I don't know what educated means, but if I were to take that in the context of
I'm sorry, it said college educated.
College educated. Are they younger college educated individuals?
It didn't give an age range. It said white college educated voters.
University of Phoenix
have shifted towards
Northern New Hampshire.
Kamala. Exactly. Sure, her numbers have grown.
Southern New Hampshire.
University of Southern New Hampshire, where they watch it from their basement, or is that Harvard? I mean, that's a wide range of people.
Yeah, no, I understand.
This is how much I place in that one. 0. I place 0 credibility in whatever that.
They're going to get more African American votes and larger Hispanic numbers are going to run this. Larger African American. So, and there's the other arrogance too. Even Barack Obama out there saying, "I can't believe young African men will be voting for Trump." I mean, the way he talks about, how's he talk How's he talk about young African men? He's out there disparaging young African men. Where?
Yeah, no,
or was Joe Biden and the Democrats disparaging young African men by sending them to jail for sometimes life? Back when they considered them, what did they call them? I can't remember. They gave them an acronym back in the 80s. They were not violent. Oh, I can't remember what the word was that they used. They used to describe African Americans as they were putting them away in the thousands, in the droves.
Well, there was the crack epidemic.
Undesirables.
Undesirables. No, it's something else. Oh boy, it'll come to me. It'll come to me.
Biden back in the day was absolutely, his policies were against African Americans. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. He voted to put them in jail with these stiff fines. Stiff sentences for very, very little. So yeah, people should be in jail if they did crimes, but they shouldn't be serving life for smoking weed. So
super predators,
right?
That's what they were.
That's how we call it, super predators. Yeah.
Yep. And he listen. Who's the only person in Congress? Yeah, who was the only member of Congress to use the N-word in Congress to call African Americans? Joe Biden.
Oh, he did?
Absolutely.
Was he trying to?
The context of it was they were talking about. I don't know if it was a violent criminal situation or schooling. I forget what that, but he used the N-word right there in Congress.
So
right in the House.
Dave, another headline that has come across that I found very interesting. Migrants have been caught at the border. They've been bussed and flown out of San Diego in possible cover-up before the election, officials said. 155,000 migrants came to San Diego in the hopes of voting for Democrats, and they were caught recently by federal authorities, and the federal authorities bussed them to an airport and flew them all away because, as Frank said, that's how the DNC rolls.
Back to Tijuana? No, wait a minute. How does an illegal vote?
You just said you just have to show up and they let you vote.
Well, no, it's not that simple. You do have to line up.
Raines walks it when they caught him. Claude Raines came in. He says, "I'm shocked to find there's gambling in here. Shocked."
Right. What the hell's going on?
Yes. But 155,000.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That kind of stuff. I don't believe that they're. Yes, are they allowing all these immigrants to vote? Possibly. I could see some definitely. But I mean, unless they're out harvesting ballots, which they did in the last election, right? But unless they're out there harvesting 155,000 ballots, how are they going to get all these illegals to vote? You do have to come in and show something.
You do have to show.
Well, you have to co-sign the signature on the book. That's what we have to do, and then they give you the ballot to go into the machine. But bottom line, there's got to be something to verify. I don't know if I believe that totally.
Okay,
but listen.
And was that really a Biden? Was that the Joe Biden cloning factory where they were version 151, version 152? They
called everybody to shit their pants. Come on.
Well, the Biden administration have been criticized heavily for its border policies, and this is what happened. This has been going on apparently for 2 years. They have been getting illegals across the border.
Listen, this has been going on for 40 years, 50 years. But the problem is that the last administration was trying to curb it, whether it be, albeit with a wall or with tighter policies, more border patrols, more monitoring at the border, tighter restrictions on even coming through the normal channels. Whatever they were doing, they were trying to slow down that flow. Day one of the Biden administration, they rolled back, I think it was like 55 or 65 policies from the Trump administration that curtailed immigration. And don't you remember, we talked about this in the last show, don't you remember the convoys of walking immigrants coming from the south up through Mexico, right? There were thousands lined up because Joe Biden basically came on TV and said, "Hey,
please come.
Our borders are open. We welcome everyone."
Yeah.
And now 3.5 years later, almost 4 years later, they're trying to tell us that it never happened. What are we, stupid?
Yeah, we are.
Even with that's a problem.
I think
that's another problem with the arrogance, Dave.
Stupid.
The arrogance. The arrogance is this with liberals too. Even with video evidence in front of them, they will deny that shit like that ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's just who they are, dude. That's the whole MO.
But they're sympathetic. They're sympathetic until you ask them to do something. Hey, man, take a few immigrants in. Cool. Or send some money to. No, I can't do that. They have no problem saying that they can't do that, but they want to welcome everybody in, and they think the money grows on trees. It just comes out of the air, the atmosphere. If we save the climate, if we have climate change, then more money will drop out of the sky because the ozone layer won't be as wide open, and here comes the extra money coming out.
Frank Abracadabra Bro said he's a very dupicious human being. Do you know what that means? Dupicious?
Make that comment disappear. Abracadabra, bro.
No, I just I wanted to
send
know
it again. Send it again.
I wanted to know what dupicious means.
No, I have no idea.
Duplicitous. It means
the master's degree knows.
I think it means like
I can't see it.
I know it's small.
Like I think duplicitous means like you're doing one thing and you're saying one thing and you're doing another.
Oh well, that's not true. That's not true.
I am. Are you saying I am doing that?
Yeah.
He's saying me.
He's saying you're a very dupicious human being.
Might be referring to Trump. They might be referring to Trump.
Maybe that's it too.
Oh, okay.
Follow up on that, Abracadabra.
Okay, if Abracadabra will tell him to follow up.
That's what you mean.
So the Harris campaign has faced criticism for its relative lack of interviews. Former President Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, have sat down for at least 88 interviews. Since the Harris Waltz ticket was formed in early August, they have sat down for 48 interviews.
By the way, I looked up duplicitous. It does not mean what I said it meant.
Okay. So, what does it mean?
It means like legal behavior.
Take that master's and shove it up your ass, Dave.
Yeah, take it away. It means like legal behavior. So I guess they must be talking about Trump's like.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on that? They were saying that, the Harris team has been criticized and they're sick of being criticized because she's only done 48 unscripted interviews.
Can I answer this? Can I answer this, Dave? Let's see the interviews that she's done. Oprah, Howard Stern, Stephen Colbert. She went
on Howard Stern?
Yes. Stephen Colbert. Let's see. Who else did she do? View.
Is Howard Stern left?
She did Howard Stern. She did Brett Baer.
She did Brett Baer. I give her credit for that. And that was that was after the 20 minutes they were doing this. They're like, get her off, please. We got to get her off. So bottom line, every interview she has done has been user friendly. When Donald Trump walks in, it's like the demilitarized zone.
Well, he gets attacked.
Bullets are whipping everywhere around him. Yeah. Every second, someone wants to throw a hand grenade at him.
Yeah.
So you can't compare who does what interviewers. You can't back Kamala up with any kind of comparison to what Trump does. Trump is available 24/7. The guy never sleeps. He's out campaigning. He's in the bus every day. He's feeding you fries and burgers at McDonald's. He will do whatever he needs to do to get the word out to the American public, or at least to be in the face of the American public, to let them know that he's there for them, or he can hopefully count on their vote to change the country. That's all. And again, maybe not voting for the man, but I enjoy the effort. Because the effort is definitely not there on the other side. It wasn't there with Uncle Joe falling asleep, and it's not here now with Kamala not doing any relevant interviews or being able. The press corps can't ask any relevant questions.
Yeah,
they can't because they don't get answered.
She doesn't answer them. Dave, your thoughts? You think basically the same? You can't put her in front of the camera with unscripted interviews because she can't think on her feet and answer questions.
Listen. She's a member of the middle class, okay?
Well, she has values.
No.
And she loves her mother.
I'm sure she loves her mother, but she's most importantly a member of the middle class. She grew up in the middle class.
Upper middle class, I thought.
No, she's Kamala Harris. She grew up in the middle class.
Oh, middle class.
She was a teenager that they finally got their first home because their mother worked so hard. Kamala Harris could not handle anything that would be unscripted, period.
Right.
She didn't know where the questions are coming from. When she got him with Brett Baer and he did a little bit of pushback, she wanted to fight. It was smart on her end because she tried to make Brett Baer look stupid, but she wants to fight because she has to move away from any real discussion on anything.
Right, because she doesn't have the answers.
If the Republicans were smart, all they would do is send a guide to every interview that she has and just jam the Wi-Fi. Because bottom line, then the Bluetooth in the ear won't work, and there's no one that can save her, and then she'd really have to speak on her own.
Okay. Frank.
Yes.
J. Caspin Kang. He's a staff writer for The New Yorker.
Okay.
He wrote a great piece about the media, and it was titled, "How Biased is the Media, Really?" And he said that America's trust in mass media remains historically low.
No.
And he basically said that the media is actively working with the Democrats to defeat Donald Trump.
100%.
And the obvious explanation for this impression is that the press corps is mostly made up of liberals.
Yes.
And at prestige outlets, many of which who don the armor of impartiality, the imbalance skews a lot further to the left than most outsiders.
The days of fair reporting are gone.
Crap.
The days of fair reporting are gone. But how can how people not see this? I mean, you look at, and then the people are mad. Oh, all you do is you watch Fox, and that's what. Well, at least there's one conservative area people can at least go to and watch, whether it may be championing the president or the Republican Party or conservative thought or Christianity or life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So at least there's somewhere people, because if you turn the channels, you go to multiple outlets and there's no news anymore.
No,
there's no news anymore. They just have pundit after pundit after pundit to tell you how bad Trump is, how bad the Republican Party is, how bad Christians are, how bad their values and their morals are.
Well, they're Christian. They can't say Christians are bad.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, they can.
We're all Christians.
Because no, we're not.
Well, the country is mostly Christian.
No, the country is not it's Christian.
Yeah,
but it's made up of many religious, many denominations, many.
Yeah, but
so
they hammer Christianity.
They hammer Christianity because of the abortion issue. Steve, where have you been?
No, I know the abortion issue.
That's it. That's a huge issue. If there was no abortion issue in this, let's say Roe v. Wade was still Roe v. Wade, right?
But there is no abortion issue anymore.
What are you talking about?
It's over.
What's over? What do you think? What do you think? It's the Crusades? It's over. Everybody go home.
No, all the abortion issue did. They passed it to the states.
Yeah, but that's what people are fighting against, Steve. That's what they're fighting against.
They want to go back to be federal.
They want it to be federal. We pass it to the states. Well, you can gut a fish in New York, and you go to Texas, and you can't squeeze a pea out.
I know, but that's ridiculous.
I understand that, but that is ridiculous for me personally. That's just my opinion.
You're telling me that's the whole thing right there is the abortion.
If Roe v. Wade was still in existence, Donald Trump would have this campaign locked up by the CNN and MSNBC would have to shut down.
I agree with Frank on that. So I think that obviously, even though we differ a little bit on our abortion stance, right. I agree with Frank 100% that if it was I don't remember how it all came about, but
that's what I'm saying, Dave.
Overturning Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, it was under Biden.
I believe in that. I do also believe, even though I believe personally that should be the case.
Right.
But overturning it federally is something that is being held against Donald Trump because the Supreme Court is Republican.
Oh, okay.
So it's being held against him by people who might be maybe independent that abortion is a bigger issue for them. So if abortion is it's mainly women.
Okay, see, because it happened under Biden. I mean, he was a president, so I figured it would be his responsibility. But I see what you're saying.
The Republicans for it.
The Supreme Court, Donald Trump.
It's an organized pack that got together to keep pressing lawyers to keep bringing this petition up.
Oh, it
got carried to the Supreme Court. There's no other place to go but the Supreme Court,
but
and the Supreme Court
it's been
voted.
Brought up many times.
Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade's been. Where have you been?
No, I mean since it's happened.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Since it's
happened, it's done right now. Okay.
No. But I mean, initially, Roe v. Wade was passed, and then it got overturned.
Roe v. Wade was passed in the 70s.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Since the 70s,
right?
It's been,
yes.
And since it got overturned, you're saying in between there, people tried to
all the way through for 40 some odd years. They've been trying to get this repealed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sure.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know they were trying to get it overturned.
If Donald Trump, and my guess is, if Donald Trump, obviously Supreme Court's its own entity, right? So, but if Donald Trump could have had a conversation with the justices, my guess is he would have said, wait till I get into office.
Exactly.
Do this because
he knew it was going to hurt him.
Sure, it will.
Yeah, it's going to hurt him. Now, if he had gotten once he gets into office, then that would have been it. Hurt him last. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him.
But don't you think that people have the wrong impression of Roe v. Wade being overturned and what it means?
No,
they like. I see so many people who think that now it means abortion's illegal. They don't understand.
No.
Yes, they don't understand. You're right. There is some people that don't understand.
That's what I found.
Don't understand. Most people
that's what I found. Okay,
but
you think they do?
Basically, what you have is people who are in states that obviously abortion is legal are battling with people in the states that it's illegal to try and get it legalized. Okay, and they're utilizing cases that are, I mean, if you're in what's the state that abortion's illegal? Texas, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, Texas is the big one.
If you're from Illinois and you're for it being legal, illegal, abortion being legal, you go to Texas where it's illegal, and you're trying to find cases of kids, younger people in general, that abortion affected them and they were not able to get abortion in their state.
Correct.
In an extreme situation. So it makes it look like it's that way. Now, I don't agree with all of there's a lot of gray areas and all the stuff with abortion.
Of course. Yes.
So the one gray area is, to me, is the biggest factor is that a life is lost. But as far as the stuff with rape or incest, the issue is this: the people who are going to take this the most personally are women, for the most part.
Yes.
And there are men, but women are going to take it. And this is the issue. You're gonna need some of these women to vote for you. And if the abortion is that big of an issue, it's going to be an issue. It's going to hurt Trump a little bit, and you're hoping it doesn't hurt him a lot.
Wow.
And that's where the confusion is with this. If you can get a chocolate milkshake in New York, you should be able to get a chocolate milkshake in Texas, and you can't.
So, do you think that it should go back to being federal?
For me, and again, this is just my personal opinion. Yeah. Yes, it should go back. They need to rape, incest, third. I mean, I don't see many. Maybe there's a case here, but I don't see many third. The last trimester being
late term.
Yeah, I don't see that happening that often, but I'm sure there's cases. But I think to the most part, I think it needs just a little restructuring. But I think it should go back to it. It's got to. It's just you're you're bringing, it's tough, Dave. Bringing religion into politics is just so messy.
Yeah.
That it creates more distraction and more anger than it helps. People see the Christian side or the religious side thinks that they're helping by bringing in God. God will help you and save you. You're trying to tell me I don't really want God right now, and you're trying to force God on me. You know what I mean? That's where the conflict always. If you believe in God, that's awesome. If you follow your life according to the Lord or the book of the Lord, well, that's great. I'm with you. But people feel infringed, and I think that's now. Once you talk about your own individual rights, right. Where are your rights? Yeah. Where do your rights begin and end if you can't control what you do with yourself?
Right.
Some of the issues with Roe v. Wade too are, if you're a minor, you don't have to tell your parents.
No, you don't have to tell your parents. No,
if you're getting an abortion, and a lot of parents have an issue with it. So see, some of it has to do with how Roe v. Wade was written federally, where that was the opening for it to be returned. But, when you have parents not having control over, whether a 16-year-old has it or not, they can just go get it without having to consult their parents. There's a lot of issues with it.
I see the
correct.
But the big picture of it is basically, does it have an effect on the election? It does have an effect. It always has had an effect on the election one way or the other. So it's going to have an effect. Is it any bigger than normal? Maybe, because it's been overturned. That's the biggest thing. I think that you have the big issue is now when you get to things like trans and all those kind of things.
That's a different ball game.
Talking about sports, okay? Because sports is really even though sports is the thing that's in the news,
it's a small part,
small portion of what the problem is. The problem is that you don't. If someone is a 10-year-old is feeling like he's not in the right body, you don't got to go and tell the parents. Those are the things that are huge issues to me. Huge issues with respect to trans. People being able to get, teenagers being able to get the surgery in some of these states without having to consult their parents.
The hormone treatment and surgery.
And that's where the religion thing converges with a lot of these things that are what Kamala champions. You know what I mean? She champions these things, and it definitely clashes with almost every religion.
She does, yeah.
Almost every religion. I don't know enough about Islam to know. I'm certain it does, since they throw people from the roofs in the Middle East.
Oh, yeah.
No, listen. You've seen gays for Palestine, right? Come on.
Yeah.
No way, Dave. There's no way that happens. Gays for Palestine.
The last question I'll ask, Frank. Why do you believe that Roe versus Wade finally was overturned 2 years ago? Like you said, it's been trying to be repealed for the last 40 years.
Because what Dave said just a little while ago.
Why in the hell did it just happen?
What Dave said, when you put conservative thought judges on the bench who are also involved, they're religious. I mean, their religious views are known as well.
But
you're bringing in
church and state.
Yeah, but that's difficult to do because they're also, separating opinions, values, and actual court facts, and they have to have something. They have to have something relevant, legal wise, to be able to back up their decisions. I mean, they don't just pull it out of the blue and say, "Yep, today we're gonna." So
I got you.
Over the years, it's been attempted, but over the years, the judicial court system, the Supreme Court, hasn't been this imbalanced with conservatives versus
well, they have the majority. The bottom line is they have the majority.
That's it. Yeah, and it's a good majority, a 6-3 majority. Even if one Republican or one conservative judge says, "Hey, you know what? I got to go the other way on this right now," Roberts or whatever, so that they still would outweigh 5-4. So a 6-3 majority is huge in the Supreme Court.
You're saying
I think it's the greatest thing in the history of the United States that we have a conservative majority there.
Mhm.
But I do. Here's what I think. So, I what was your original question? Like I guess the night was kicking
No,
in.
I was just going to say, like, why over the past 40 years, apparently
Talk about the Georgia game, Dave.
Roe versus Wade, over the last 40 years, Roe versus Wade have been attempted to be repelled over the last 40 years. Why did it get through this time?
Oh yeah,
That's what I don't understand.
Well, so obviously the conservative thing, but the other thing is this.
For 40 years they've tried, you've said.
Yeah. The other thing that is important to understand is that if you look at most, this is what's interesting about the three different, the balance of power in America. When things sway one way, another part of it sways a different way. So you got in a situation where it was swaying very heavy to the left.
To the left,
Trump got in, he's able to swing the Supreme Court, and then people retired all that time into the Republican favor, even though some of the stuff was towards the left. And the Democrats get into power, but they can't do as much in the Senate, so on and so. So that's kind of the balance of powers, and that's the overall. I think that's what makes the United States unique, is that the truth is, if the country is not run by a maniac, meaning Kamala Harris, everyone says Trump, but a maniac, it's Kamala Harris. If it's not run by a maniac, okay, and there's a limit to that maniac's powers too. So unless somehow a president goes in and says, I'm in charge of the whole entire United States, I'm a dictator, and I will bomb the Supreme Court, and I will bomb this, and I'll bomb. Short of that happening, which ain't happening, you have balance of power. So you're never going to be able to go too far one way or
the other.
It brings it back. So if you're going to push certain things through, when conservatives are in power in certain things, and then unless you control all of it, that's the only thing. That's why everyone's always fighting to control all of it, because if they control all of it, they can basically do whatever they want.
Right.
Now that's not the case.
Going too fast. We're going too fast with everything. The liberal agenda, since they burned Minneapolis, has been out of control.
Habadaja says, hi. Coincidentally, you can only have good power if you have a correct understanding of religion. That's Habadaja's comment. So I don't quite
understand. Be helpful.
Yeah. Help us out on that.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out next time. We'll let Dave get some sleep. He's had some NyQuil, and he's had enough. We ran him on 3 podcasts today. So, Coach Schuman, you know, 2024 is your year, Coach of the Year, 9-year-old Pop Warner football. You're a candidate. I think you're going to flex like Tyler. You're doing the Tyler King flex. That's nice. For Coach Schuman, the voice of reason himself.
Yes.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed.
Frank Cristiano, who wishes he opened the doggy daycare.
You know it. Get out of here.
And
go eat them. Go with the Haitians.
Cully, the best podcast radio host in the universe. This has been 97.9 Unity Radio, Rebel Republic, the best political show in all of Central Massachusetts. Signing off.